Hey YouTube, what is going on? In today's video, I am going to be going over how I'm training for my 100-mile ultra marathon this December. So the race is called the Beast of the East 100. It's right outside of Charlotte in North Carolina, called Crowder's Mountain, and I'm also going to be running up and down Kings Mountain, which is on the borderline of North Carolina and South Carolina. In this race, there's going to be 20,000-ish feet of elevation gain, ton of elevation gain, and a ton of night running since it is December and the sun goes down pretty early. And the race starts kind of late for a 100-mile race. I think a lot of the times they start at like 6 a.m. This one says it starts at 8 a.m. So it's gonna be a ton of night running, and I'm gonna have 32 hours to complete this race. Now in this video, I wanna go over how I am training to prepare my mind and body for this race. And we are just entering August, so I have about 5 months to get ready. And there's a lot that's gonna happen. You know, I've been building a base. Now it's time to really start to pick it up. I'm gonna be getting in a couple big runs in my training blocks. And you know, I wanna go over what my nutrition is gonna be like, how I'm gonna train for night running, how I'm gonna train for the elevation gain, how am I gonna get that vert, recovery, all of that. And I want to talk about it in this video. I'm going to bring you along on my run. So let's get started with that. I'll see you guys out there. So right now I'm throwing on my Hoka Une EVO Speedgoats. This is my preferable shoe for trail running. I've tried a bunch of different shoes for trails. The only shoe I haven't tried for trails, and most of my friends wear them, are Ultras, or Ultras, however you say it. That's the only shoe I have not tried on the trails. I've heard amazing reviews. I've even told people that I've heard they're really good, so you should try them. But the Hoka, you know, in ultra marathon running, they say, you know, if it's working, stick with it. So I love these shoes. I think I will keep these as my racing shoes. I might go for the Speedgoats for some training shoes because then it will get expensive. But I would probably have 2 pairs of these, the EVO Speedgoats, for the actual race itself, with like an extra pair of the Speedgoats that I'm probably going to be using in training, because these do get beat up pretty easily in the bottoms. It's ripping, and the top, and I mean with the terrain I usually run in, it kind of tears these up. So I have these on. I have my Coros Apex as my watch. I love Coros. This is my 3rd Coros. I also have the Pace 2. I've had the original Coros Pace, and yeah, once I tried these watches, I love them. The battery life is insane, and it's just like a must for an ultra marathon. Although I've never used the Ultra Max mode, I know I can use that for the marathons, but like just the regular battery itself lasts for days, literally. So that's my watch and shoes, just in case any of you guys are wondering what I'm rocking today. Then I got some Spring Energy gels, as you know I love. This is apple cinnamon pie, icy mango, and my favorite strawberry smoothie. And just got 12 ounces of water right here. It's beautiful outside, not too hot, not humid really at all. There's a nice breeze, so I'm gonna be sweating, but not too much. I think the sodium in this will do enough, and you know, staying hydrated with water. And I'll bring a backup water bottle just in case I need it. But yeah, that's what I got for today's run, and I'm gonna talk more nutrition with you when I get out on those trails. Let's head over. Just pulled up to the trailhead. I have a 10-mile run today. Like I said, it's a beautiful day, so I'm pumped to get out there. And you know, in the trails it's shady, so it's gonna be even a little cooler. Sometimes it could be hotter. If it's really humid, it actually like contracts the heat into the trail, so it can be hotter. But a day like today, it's gonna be beautiful with a beautiful breeze. It's a little busy today, but that's only on the outside. Definitely not gonna be like that in the trail. So I'll see you guys out there.
over nutrition. I'm going to be going between powders, gels, and then get into real food. Right now, my training has only allowed me to do gels and powders. I'm still trying out some powders. When I say powders, like an endurance drink with calories, right? So getting in the calories between gels and powders. And when I go on my big runs, I have a 27 miler out in Delaware, what I got to Culver Gap at the end of August. And then I want to hit a 50 miler. And during those bigger goes, I'm really going to test out my nutrition and see exactly what I'm going to be able to intake and hold on to. Right now, the Spring Energy gels do me right. I just know later on in the higher mileage, like 60, 70, 80 miles, 90 miles, I'm going to need some real food. Right now in the shorter runs, just training, getting calories in. Another thing I'm trying is eating a normal size meal, like pasta and a chicken burger, and then going on my run like right after. So feeling my body, let my body and GI adapt to that digestion process while continuously pushing forward. So those are my training methods for nutrition. Just trying to get in as much calories as I can through gels and powders, then transition over to gels, powders, and real food. And at the aid stations, they're gonna have food too. I'll probably, on long runs, test out the food they say they're gonna have and see if that'll work for me as well. Working up these hills. It has been a hot, humid, wet summer. Today is a blessing. Woo! So beautiful out. So grateful to be out here. You know, two key things that I do in my training that I think is vital and important if you're getting ready for a race, any kind of race, is some points just like, imagine you're in the race, you know, dig into that inner child and act like there's people around you, or you got someone on your tail and you're actually in that race and you're fucking hauling ass for a little bit, you know, you're moving around. It'll start getting your mind ready for race day. Visualize. It's something I did in weightlifting and something I'm carrying on to ultra running, is visualizing myself on race day. And I used to do it in weightlifting, visualize before each lift. You know, close my eyes, see myself successfully hit the lift, and I'm seeing myself successfully crushing this race over and over again. Another thing that's going over my mind is what am I missing? And two things I know I need to work on is part of recovery. My sleep needs to become more of an importance for me. Right now I'm not taking it as seriously. And stretching. You know, a lot of runners don't stretch. I used to stretch all the time weightlifting. Now I never stretch. So I'm saying it here to you guys, so the next time I come on the video, I could tell you I've been working on my weaknesses. So now's the time to ask yourself what your weaknesses are and be honest in what you need to work on as you prep for your race. I told you what I love about trail running. What I hate about it is when bugs fly right into your mouth. Fucking gross. There's 10. Gotta have that AC blasting as soon as I get in the car. Even though it wasn't that hot, it was still hot. It's like sitting in a It's like sitting in a sauna. There it is, 10 miles. So I wanted to talk to you guys about my training schedule. And right now I am running 6 days a week. I just went from 5 to 6 because I've just been building up the last couple of months, the last several weeks. I've just been building up. Now it's really getting hard and the volume is going up. So I'm running 6 times a week and I'm strength training 3 times a week. That's 2 upper body days, 1 strength, 1 hypertrophy, and 1 all-around leg day where I'm doing heavy back squats and then following up with a lot of strength endurance rep range accessory work. I also want to work on my power output, so I may be mixing in some power cleans and cleans just to work on some power output that I'll probably need to push along in some of the miles out there on the 100-mile race. As for my runs, I'm doing mostly easy runs, and then what I really want to work on is fatigue resistance, because fatigue is inevitable in a 100-mile race. So I want to not reach fatigue early on in the race. Later on in the race, I can push through it, but I want to have stamina for as long as I can. So fatigue resistance, I'm doing hill sprints, of course, the strength training, longer runs. The day after a long run, doing like a tempo run, a lot of back-to-back long runs, training on tired legs, getting used to that, getting the body adapted to that. Obviously, before the race, I'm going to taper off, let my body recover, but it's all about training the mind and training the body to be tired and push forward. I know that's a big part of training. And like I mentioned before, I need to start working on getting more sleep, being more conscious of eating, and I'm pretty good with eating good, wholesome foods, but I'll do things like get some ice cream or have a beer and then grab for another beer. So that I have to cut back on. And like I also said, I need to work on my stretching. I can feel my muscles are getting very tight, especially with the strength training. I just need to work on stretching and making that more of a priority, definitely a priority. I'm also gonna have to, because my work schedule is so busy, I have to do some doubles. And that's not ideal, but I want to get the mileage in. And as I'm working up to, 75 to 80 miles in 1 week, which will be the most I've ever done in a week, I need to, really focus on where I can get those runs in and, how effective they'll be. Maybe I'll do a speed workout, shorter run, and then a longer run later on in the day, or vice versa. So I'll work with that, and I'll definitely make a video about running 2 times a day and the benefits from it and the negatives from it. But yeah, all right, it's hot. I have the AC down because I didn't want it blasting into the camera. Let me get moving, and I'm gonna go over the last thing I want to go over with you guys. Alright. So one of my favorite things to do in the summer is grill food, and I am big on it. I love to just come out here, throw the grill on, cook some good food, burgers, chicken, potatoes, zucchini, vegetables, throw everything on that grill, make some delicious food. Come out here, it's nice and peaceful, I got the woods behind me, I got the lounge chair, just relax, cook. It's a good time. It's one of my favorite things in the summer. Right here, I got some sweet potatoes mixed with white potatoes, chicken burger. This is a Bell & Evans chicken burger. If you haven't tried Bell & Evans chicken, definitely have to try it. It's delicious. And I have the arugula salad. So, got a little bit of everything. This looks delicious. Now it's time to eat. It's always nice when your neighbors go away and they insist you go in their pool while they're gone. In this race, I'm going to have a lot of
elevation gain, and where I live, there's not many places where I can get over 1,000 feet of elevation gain. I have to drive at least an hour to an hour and a half away. So once or twice a week, and as I get even closer, 3 times a week tops, I'm going to be going up north or making that hour and a half drive so that I can gain a lot of elevation to train that vert, to train my legs to climb. And a big thing with that is people think, oh, you're just like running up this mountain, and not necessarily, because like I was talking about before, I don't want to be fatigued, so it's more of like a power hike up the hill repetitively, so just going up and down, just trying to gain that elevation so that my legs will be prepared for Crowder's Mountain, which is almost the peak of Mount Tammany, where I ran around 10 times in April. It's like 300 feet higher than that. So Mount Tammany is another great training ground for this race. So right now, that's how I'm training for my first 100-mile race. It's all up in the air. I can only do my research, ask friends and people I know that have done 100-mile races, ask them questions, a ton of questions, and just prepare as much as I can, and then just dive into it. But this is what I'm doing right now. Obviously, I'm bringing you guys along and trying to pump out as much content as I can as I'm going through these training blocks, and let you guys know how successful things are, what I cut out, all of that. So I'm just gonna get to chilling, me and the dog, we're gonna relax. So if you like this video, go ahead and like it. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit subscribe, and subscribe to my channel and follow me along on my journey as I train for this 100-mile race. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, peace.